Hey everyone, welcome back to Screen Time. I'm your host Matt, and on this episode we'll be reviewing Mission Impossible Final Reckoning. It used to be called Dead Reckoning Part 2. That's a whole other thing. We'll get into it. But overall, I actually really enjoyed this movie. It was quite fun, engaging, and kept the pace well to a certain point. From a certain point in the film, it got good. But we'll get into that. My history with the franchise hasn't been overall positive. So I apparently have watched the first one. Don't really remember it. According to Letterboxd, I have. Don't know if I was high. And then I remember seeing Ghost Protocol, Rogue Nation, which I enjoyed. Fallout, which I was really excited for, let me down. Now, hear me out. It's because of one thing. One thing let it down for me. And that's that I could see the camera in the aeroplane sequence. I could see it. Yeah. I could see the camera, and that ruined the movie magic for me. And the whole thing leading up to it was Tom Cruise did his own stunts. Whoop-de-fucking-do, I can see the camera beside him, filming him doing it. If you're gonna spend money to do all these awesome stunts with Tom Cruise, I'm guessing there's a lot of insurance involved, then you can spend a little bit more with getting rid of the camera using CGI. The last one though, Dead Reckoning or Dead Reckoning Part 1, whichever way you want to say it, was a vast improvement for me. I didn't see any camera work or any camera rigs in these stunts that they pulled off, so it was way better. I will say that Henry Cavill was very good in his role in that previous Fallout movie, which was the one thing that I was like, okay, I would watch it again, but I haven't because of that camera. It ruined it for me. But yeah, no, the first part of this Final Reckoning was pretty good, and it did get me excited to watch Dead Reckoning Part 2, but unfortunately no one else saw it, so they had to do some movie magic and get rid of the Part 1 and Part 2 and now make it Dead Reckoning because nobody saw it. And pretty much the reason why the first half of this film or the first hour of this film sucks is because no one saw Dead Reckoning Part 1. Alright, but let's get into it. The Dead Reckoning Part 1 made just over $500 million at the box office with a budget of 200 or 300, but the break-even point, as we all know, is 2.5 times that, which means that they needed to make $700 million to make a profit. Now, I'm not a mathematician, but 500 does not equal 700, so they made a loss. But they'd already started filming parts of Dead Reckoning Part 2 before the strikes for the writer's strike went on. So after the strikes, the crew and the actors all went back to the production of a sequel to a film that nobody watched. And the gag is, nobody fucking watched it. So they had to do a stitch-up job with stitching what seems to be the original footage they filmed before the strikes. And then they had to make sure that everyone watching this new film knew what happened in the last one because nobody fucking watched it. So it led to the first hour of this film being absolutely bloody boring, if you ask me. It was bloody boring. Most 20 solid minutes of this circle going, yeah, so this is what happened in the last film. Alright. And then this is what happened. Alright. And then this happened. If I wanted to watch a synopsis of the film, I would have went on YouTube. I do not need to see Part 1 all over again in clip form. If you could show me Part 1 in clip form, then why the fuck did you make the last Part 1 3 hours long or something? It was long. So if you can make it into clip form, maybe you could have made this into one film, hey? Yeah. Anyways, back onto the point. The first hour was boring. It was full of exposition and a lot of just a circle talking to you. So not a lot of fun times, and a lot of the actual non-exposition scenes was seemingly a hatch job, a stitching, a cross-hatch, if you will, of what they filmed for the strike. So the casino, this casino sequence, maybe that bunker sequence, but the bunker sequence was also dirt cheap what looks to be dirt cheap to make. Now, I don't know about you, but having a set for like a room is a lot cheaper than doing something in like a casino. So, you know, that could have been a part of the hatch job. We don't know, but it's very obvious that that first hour was just them trying to be like, we know we didn't have anyone watch our last movie, but we were kind of too deep. So here's everything that happened. Thanks, guys. Now back on to your regular programming. So the rest of the film, pretty much from the point where Tom Cruise went into the sauna bed full of AI, full of Siri, is where the movie picked up. From then, it really picked up its pace. The character moments were really good. The fights were thrilling and all of that. And there really wasn't a moment where like it was just more exposition. There were a few bits at the end which was like 2 keys. But overall it was pretty well paced. All the actors and got their moment to shine. It didn't feel as much as the Tom Cruise show as a few of the other installments have in the past. It definitely felt like an ensemble film. So it's always going to be a Tom Cruise show. He's always going to save the day. He's always going to do the coolest stunts. But in this one, we really got to see people like Hayley Atwell, Simon Pegg, Pom Klementieff, Angela Bassett even, Tremel Tillman, and Hannah Willingham. Did I get that right? Waddingham. They all, you know, had their moment in the spotlight to shine, and like all of them showed off and they proved to the audience that they had a right to be there, which was really great to see. Standouts for me were definitely Tremel Tillman, Angela Bassett, love her. I'm a 911 stan. So having Angela Bassett in the movie really increased my my watchability. I was like, yes, Athena Grant, yes. We will not blow the place up, I understand. But yeah, those people, Hayley Atwell did a really good job at being that kind of like female lead. She wasn't just a piece of meat, if you will. She had her stuff to do. She had her reason to be there. She had her mission. But Simon Pegg was one of the main standouts, I reckon, for me. Simon Pegg got his chance to really act as the leader with Tom Cruise going and doing his own thing for a bit. He proved that he had a right to be there. He grew from being a kind of outsider from this Mission Impossible spy life to being one of the main people and the guy running the show and the guy knowing what to do. And it was really interesting to see and heartwarming to see kind of the impact he had on the team in those later scenes. I really like Pom Klementieff just as an actor, and it was really good to see her kind of flex those acting muscles with the limited stuff she's been given. I would really like to see her maybe move into more leading roles, even just within this franchise. Give her like a Paramount Plus miniseries. I'm sure they can afford it. So the main gist of the commentary for the film is AI, and it's definitely a rip from the headlines kind of subject matter, especially with, you know, Darth Vader currently speaking to us and having conversations, and with the integration of AI in the workplace with ChatGPT writing emails and other things like that. So it was very interesting to see the kind of realistic, but also the exaggerated effects of AI. But at the same time, it's not really that exaggerated when you come to think of it. We had movies in the 60s where we had like these voices in the computer talking to us and making conversations, and now we're there. So having this AI make decisions and invade and whatever it may do, and predict isn't that far-fetched. And it was really interesting to see it be played out in a realistic, but also highly, highly dramatized way. But it still somehow felt down to earth, which is really good to see. Now, the stunts in the film, There was some highlights. There was some stunts where I was like, that didn't really need to be there. There was a lot of Tom Cruise just fucking bolting it. He had places to be, and somehow he always caught up to the bad guy who was running at the same pace. That's beside the point. The standout stunts for me were definitely the submarine. That was really great. And the aeroplane. The aeroplane was really drawn out. Surprising. Same with the submarine sequence. Both of them were really drawn out, but they never felt overstayed or they like just get off my screen kind of vibe. I'm over it. It was definitely two sequences that were thought out very well and constructed from the point of, you know, how are we going to keep the suspense going and how are we going to keep the audience intrigued without, you know, falling asleep during this 3-hour long movie, taking into consideration ads. So yeah, it was definitely really good. I really want to see what Tom Cruise actually did in this one, because I know he learned how to fly, but was he hanging from, like, was he 300 feet underwater or was he just in a tank? I'm really curious. I will follow up on that and learn what he did, because I know in a lot of the other ones he like did it and it's like really shocking, but this one I may be calling your bluff, but I'm just entitled to my own opinion, so you're more than welcome to leave your thoughts and comments down below. Maybe prove me wrong. Happy to hear it. So where do I want to take this franchise? That's a really great question to ask. Thanks for asking it. Overall, I don't think Tom Cruise should continue. Oh, he's really great in the role, but I think maybe he's run his course. And I think the film knows that. But I also think the film has left it open enough where the supporting characters that we've built up in this 2-part event that nobody's watched the first part to, can maybe take a hold. So like Pom Klementieff can do her Paramount Plus show or movie, like Ballerina that's coming out in John Wick. Like we could have a Pom Klementieff movie, maybe a prequel where she's still the bad guy, but she's like tossing up between, does she really want it, you know? Anti-hero kind of vibes. Or maybe we have Simon Pegg starting his own crew where he's like the main guy, but he's also got the youngins and he needs to like be like, guys, we need to pull our shit together. Like, this is what we have the fate of the world. And then one of them's like, puh. And then one of them's like, oh my God, E equals MC squared. Like the nerd. But, you know, well written. Not that, but, you know, the gist of it. We could have new movies, shows. I don't understand why we haven't made it a universe yet. Now, I know what you're going to say. Not everything needs to be a universe. And Mission Impossible was cool, but Mission Impossible did start off as a TV show back in the day. So it definitely does come from the streaming roots, and it's only now that it's become more of a film franchise. So I really do believe that it can maybe outlast Tom Cruise and become a franchise, because Tom Cruise ain't going to be around that long. We need to, you know, keep making money from these films. But yeah, well, that's my thoughts on the Mission Impossible film. Overall, pretty solid. The first hour, again, is a letdown, but the actors and the script and the action sequences really make up for that 1 hour, and I would recommend either going and watching it or waiting till it's on digital to fast forward that hour, because if you've seen part 1, you've definitely seen the first hour. Don't need it. Just don't need it, to be honest. It definitely catches you up though, so don't feel pressured to watch any of the other Mission Impossible films. So yeah, overall, I rate it 3.5. Unfortunately, it could have been that 4 or 4.5 if that first half just like was an actual film and not just monologue for about an hour. But yeah, those are my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts down below. Like and subscribe, do all those good things, and I'll see you on the next one. See ya.